Transformational Tuesday to all my heart centered female entrepreneurs that we call financially free fabpreneurs. And my name is Evie, if you haven't met me, and I am Evie Diaz of evdiaz.com, financial empowerment speaker, financial trauma healer, and the expert on the simplest method of manifesting financial freedom. Now, if this is your first time tuning in, or if you're watching the replay, please, we want to hear all about you. So please tell us, where are you in the world and where on social media are you tuning in from? And of course, please feel free to share any good stuff that you'd like to share right there in the chat, as well as ask questions. And by the way, as you are there, and if you are on YouTube, please make sure to subscribe, because we want to make sure that we do not miss sharing with you anything. And therefore, by subscribing, you'll find out every time I go live, because you'll get a notification from YouTube. Today, we're going to talk all things MoneyFest. And to do that, I'm going to start by introducing one of the women that will be with me at MoneyFest. And let me bring her right on. Hello, Arianne.
Hello, Evie. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for saying yes. And please, as we begin, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about you? Because today we wanted to introduce people to you, because you're going to be one of the first people that they meet during our MoneyFest 2025 Money Manifesting Festival. So please introduce yourself.
Well, I'm so in alignment with the topic because I love money. I love to help people make money. I love to make money because it's a tool for our future, right? For our freedom. And that's my number one core value. So very much excited to be part of this. And so who am I? I've been an entrepreneur for almost 20 years. I started my first company in 2008. And I've never played to the beat of anyone's drum other than my own. I've worked in the creative field for so many years, graphic design, photography, marketing agencies. But what shifted for me is that I really loved wellness, and I fell in love with yoga. I started practicing in like 2001, and I started teaching in 2005. So while I worked in the creative industry, I was a moonlighting yoga teacher. I realized the impact that I could make on people. So I slowly transitioned my business more into the wellness side and basically built an empire through wellness, and both, teaching, international retreats, certifications. I opened one of the first yoga studios down here in the Wynwood Arts District in Miami, which is now like big hustle bustle. And I own the largest yoga trade show in the United States called the Yoga Expo. And 8 years ago, I transitioned from teaching. And, like I said, I was kind of doing all these big things. Like I've taught in almost every continent in the world. But I started consulting wellness and holistic professionals into how they can realign themselves to their business through, strategies, both online and offline. And I've been doing that for 8 years now. I have online programs. I have a full-on marketing software that I coach people on. It's a membership, a community, because I know like the tech headaches that most entrepreneurs have, and that's one of my gifts. So
I am so happy that you have, and we met on Facebook. So here's a lesson for all our financially free fabpreneurs. We met on Facebook, and I was impressed because she had a yoga event in person here in South Florida. And I congratulated her after I saw it on social. And then I kept seeing her post, and then I connected. And by the way, that's one of the things that by attending MoneyFest 2025, people are going to learn. So I want to just tell people a little bit about what MoneyFest 2025 is. First of all, as I said, I'm Evie Diaz, and I've been doing yearly conferences events for the past 6 years. And I started right here in my hometown of Aventura, Florida. I started my first event right here in 2019 with some of the speakers that were friends of mine from the National Speakers Association, some of my mentors, even, and coaches. And I asked them to come and share their knowledge and experience with other speakers. And that's how we began. And throughout the past few years, we had a sales conference, and I invited experts in sales. And I've had a myriad of different experts speaking and sharing their experiences, their expertise at different named events every year around this same time, September and October. And last year, we had the first MoneyFest, and we called it MoneyFest Live. And this year, we decided to call it MoneyFest 2025. Since the pandemic, we have been going live virtual, meaning the entire event is live. All the speakers speak live, and the event is live but virtually, which, by the way, has given the opportunity to so many more people to be able to register from anywhere in the world because they can attend from the comfort of their home or their home office. And so this year is very special because this year we decided to make it like a money festival. And this year is what we call a 2.5 day event because we are going to start on Thursday. And for all of you that are obtaining your all access pass, you have a bonus. And that bonus is a very intensive hands-on workshop from 12 to 4 p.m. Eastern Time, where we're going to be using AI to create our strategy for the remainder of the month in 2025 and also for 2026. And by the way, I didn't even tell you this, Arianne, but you're welcome to, if you have some input that how you use AI, and if you want to co-create that event with me, let me know after we finish this. Because what happened was that I put a call out for AI expert speakers, females, and I got many women applying. But what they were talking about was not the strategy on how to really use AI to
Mhm.
create your strategy, to create your numbers, to create kind of a plan as to what you should do from now until the end of the year and what you should do to make 2026 your best year yet. And that's what we're going to be covering for all of you that are all access pass holders. Then on Thursday, we're going to do our official check-in. We have an amazing event producer who her name is Tamra. You'll be meeting her at the event, who is using some of the most amazing software for events called Avio from one of my mentors, Barry and Blue Melmick from Sage Event, who are, by the way, the people that put together all of Tony Robbins' event. And they created software that Tony Robbins now uses and that we will be using for the very first time this year at MoneyFest 2025. So when you come in on Thursday, we're going to be doing some networking. You'll be doing an official check-in through this tool called Avio, and you'll have a dashboard, very pretty, just like if you've ever attended one of Tony Robbins' events. And I'm excited about that. Then, of course, we're going to begin on Friday, October 31st, officially day one, because Thursday is our point 0.5 day, our bonus day, for us to get to know each other and for us to create the plan, the strategy, or as we call it around here, the intention. And then on day one, we're going to start with some high energy vibrations. And that's when we have Arianna come in. And I'll tell you more about what happens on day one and day two because we have some amazing speakers. But first, since we have Arianna here, Arianna, Arianne, is it Arianne or Ariana?
Ariane.
Ariane, Ariane, how important is it for us to really set the energy physically as well as psychologically and spiritually before we start on this type of endeavor? How important is it? And what are you going to do for us so that we can set the stage at 9 a.m. on Friday, October 31st?
Well, first of all, my whole, I think, ethos of my company is the aspect of movement, right? So when there's stagnation, whether it's mental, emotional, physical, what ends up happening is that we lose momentum. Um, unless it's let me like I talk in circles, so give me a second. So stagnation is very different from intentional hibernation. So intentional hibernation is when like you're going like that dark winter of the soul where you're just like, I need to retreat. I need to like work on my stuff. There's still movement happening, right? It's not stagnation because sometimes my clients are like, oh, well, I'm having a slow period. And I'm like, well, let's get clarity around that. Are you doing it intentionally where you're like, let me work on my offers, let me work on my marketing strategy, let me work on my mindset? Like, what are we working on? There's still activity happening, whereas stagnation or paralysis. So I'll share something very personal. So my mother's been in the hospital the last couple of weeks, and I've been there like showing up, with her every day, taking my laptop, trying to work, but really being with her. And I realized that I hadn't gone to the gym in a few days and I hadn't done my yoga practice. And I wasn't feeling great. Like my mind was starting to think negative thoughts. I was starting to get like sad. I was like, all these things were percolating. And I'm not saying that sadness is bad or like having, emotions that are not positive and happy, because I'm not all about that, like feel the feels. But I was like, no, no, no. Like if I don't take care of me first, how am I going to take care of my mom? How am I going to take care of my daughter? I have a almost 6-year-old. How am I going to take care of my household, my like 3 businesses? And I was like, I'm going to the gym today. And I had the best gym session ever. Like I pushed myself, I lifted, the weights that I hadn't lifted in a while. And today I woke up super sore, but alive. Like every step, my quads love me and hate me at the same time. But I'm like, this is the movement that my body needed to be strong and steady. I needed to breathe. I needed to move my heart. So, movement in your physical body is going to be foundational for the movement that happens in your mind, the way you support your emotional state. You mentioned Tony Robbins. Like I loved going to one of his events because he said, your state, changing your state is what changes everything else. It's what will affect your strategy. It's what will affect your conversations. It's what it's going to affect your relationships. Because if your state is not healthy, how are you going to operate from your highest level, right? And so if you're trying to manifest, but you're not in a grounded, strong state, like in all aspects, do you think you're going to have as much um, impact? No. So because I've been in the movement world, right? I was a like very high level yoga teacher. Like you need to take care of your body. And kudos to my mom. Like every time a nurse walks in and they, the physical therapist, they're like, wow, you're so strong. And it's not that she goes to the gym, she's very active. So it's like the stagnation. And even I learned this from my grandmother. She passed away at 99. I would be like, no, my mama, like stay sitting. She's like, if I stay sitting, I don't get up. And she's like, and I need to get up. Right. So I want you guys to understand that, like, for information, for a strategy that's being taught to you by, the Facebook ads queen, Mari Smith, for a money strategy that Evie is going to teach, or, how to grow a Facebook group to 1 million people. Do you think that if your body from inside to outside isn't healthy, isn't in alignment with your highest self, do you think those strategies are going to land on like power, or they're going to land on doubt, or they're going to land on lack of energy? Like I don't wake up tired. I don't wake up tired because I sleep good, because I move my body, I maximize my days. So I want you guys to really start looking at how you are optimizing,
Yes.
or right,
Yes.
it really is about
It's so
optimizing,
important.
being efficient, effective, optimizing, leveling up at every moment. And notice what happens if you decide, I'm gonna commit to 21 days of movement. This is why, like, when I coach wellness professionals, I love challenges where people can
Yes.
notice like the difference from day 1 to like day 21. Because what happens is, like, we all want change. We want to make more money. We want to be, better moms. We want to, whatever, We all
Yes.
want this like next level, right? A goal.
Mhm.
So let's say, just very simply, if you wanted to be stronger, but you're not committed to lifting a single weight, to doing a single squat, to like eating different, right? You're not committed.
Yeah.
Do you think magically you're going to be stronger?
Absolutely not. And I
No.
love that analogy because that's the practice. One of the words that I use a lot in our community is practice,
Yeah.
because practice and habits.
Yeah.
So in order for us to develop a habit, we want to develop a practice. Now, this is so important because every year I've been wanting to have someone that can help stretch us. And by the way, those of you that are watching and in the replay, when I send this email, this is an email. I don't want you to be all nervous now that we're going to be doing like Zumba, because people know I love Zumba. Okay. Ariane is going to be helping to really help circulate the blood, which we want to. And I love the word circulate because, of course, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about circulating money also during MoneyFest. And so, I recently was at one of Tony Robbins' event, and it was super exciting. And for me personally, since I don't work out as much, I was exhausted. I was like, oh my God, this is like a workout. So we're going to stretch with her to get us going for the day. Because as she said, we do have some very special guest speakers that I'm so happy that we've been able to attract. We have the queen of Facebook, Mari Smith. We have Christina Rowe, who many of you know. She has one of the biggest, largest women helping women, entrepreneurs, mastermind group on Facebook with almost 1 million women. And we also have Nicole Kramer, who I'm so excited that's going to be teaching us from the book Exactly What to Say by Phil Jones, and is a licensed guide by the Phil Jones company on teaching us exactly how to have a heart to heart sales conversation. Now, as we're doing this, we're going to have breaks because this information might be like recently I was at an event, and I wish I had someone like you, Ariane, that in between said, hold on, because there were moments that, and this is not going to happen at MoneyFest because we're going to have breaks every hour. There were moments that I was like, oh my God, I need a break. And sometimes my body was getting like, oh, like tense.
Yeah.
My legs were falling asleep. So that's where you're going to come in. Yes?
Yeah. 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 And there's like what Evie and I were talking about the other day when we were, getting in alignment with this, is that at the end of the day, let's say you're stressed out. Because come on, who here isn't stressed out to a certain level, right? Like maybe, I don't know, like I had a customer do like crazy stuff yesterday and I was like, like I felt the anxiety. But what did I do? I took a deep breath. I like changed my state, because I could have written back and been like, FUCK, or right, or been like, no, like, let me see where she's coming from. Okay, like let's come to an agreement. Boom, boom, boom. And the answer came from a very different state, because guys, energy travels. Like your energy, whether it's in person, if you're speaking at an event, or if you're doing a workshop, whatever, it's the same through online. Like if you're going to design, for example, like when I do my Facebook ads, if I sit there and I write the copy for my Facebook ad, or if I build the funnel and I'm low energy, if I'm feeling like, oh, who's going to buy this, or like, oh, I'm just another coach online, do you think I'm going to get good results?
No,
No.
absolutely not.
Energy is energy, and it can, like people do long distance Reiki, it works. So
Absolutely.
I really want to stress the importance of integration. And that's what we were talking about with Evie the other day. I was like, I want to help people integrate this information into their like cellular system,
Oh my
right?
God, I love that.
So the downloads that you're going to be getting are going to either stay at a very surface level, because we're so like mind busy, not paying attention. Maybe you're like scrolling while somebody's speaking. But if you stop and embody, that information is going to go way deeper, and you're going to remember things easier. You're going to apply
Yes.
them quicker. So that's my goal, is to help you
I love
guys
that.
get excited, integrate, and then be able to implement.
I love that. And you said something that I have forgotten about, which is the breath work that you're going to help us do. Because it's true. I experience that sometimes I get so excited that with the excitement, I may lose my breath flow. And also, sometimes when I am like in that excitement, I can also become overwhelmed by all the good information I'm getting. I'm like, oh my God, I want to start right away. So I forget to breathe
Yeah.
and be in that flow. So that is also, I'm so excited that you mentioned that because that's going to be equally as important as helping us to stay awake and move our bodies as it is to be able to, I love that you said the word integrate what we're learning at a cellular level.
Yeah.
And I'm even more excited now that I connected with you. And for those of you that are watching, we are really looking at making this one of our best event yet. And it is all about your experience. And so we want you to have a positive, powerful breakthrough experience. And so that's why, I'm so blessed. We are so blessed that we were able to attract someone like Ariane here that's going to help us to keep us going as far as excitement and physical work. And also, it's going to help to keep us aligned to what we call here in our community our financially free fabpreneur future self, which is where we want to be able to manifest everything that we want to manifest. Now, Ariane, we're also going to be having some networking, and I'm hoping that you'll be able to come. I know you have a lot of things going on. We're going to be doing that networking at 9 a.m. on that first morning, on the second morning of Saturday, and then on Thursday evening, because we want people to start getting connected. We also want people to start practicing these things that I didn't even know that you were going to be teaching us that are so important because yes, in an event as intensive as this, even though, by the way, that these speakers are not, this is not a sales pitch event, so the speakers
Yeah.
are not going to be pitching, to join, a package that they have. I'm going to be inviting women to continue staying with us in our movement, which we call our Fabpreneurs movement. But people are going to be relaxed in that respect. So I don't want people to think that, this is not a summit, a free summit where everybody's pitching you. And on top of that not being the case, we want you to feel so both energized and how do we call it what you're doing? We're going to feel energized, but at the same time relaxed. How do you call that? Explain that to us.
That we're going to be feeling energized.
Well, we're going to be experienced both. We're going to be doing it in a way that is, you said, aligned, and there is a balance in harmony way, isn't
Mhm.
it?
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll do a few different practices that I'm like a box of tools. Like I've been, in the wellness world for over 20 years. So hold on. Something crazy just happened. Okay, sorry. I apologize about that. So
We
I've been
didn't
in the
notice
wellness world.
anything.
Okay, great. For so long. So I have so many tools from like mindfulness all the way to, physical activation. So we have the breakouts scheduled to do a little bit of movement so that we're not just sitting and being stagnant. We're going to do simple breath work. I was telling Evie, like, I don't like to complicate people's lives, like simple and effective. That way you remember it and you use it again and again and again. So we'll be doing simple breath work, some like integration practices, meditation. So we're going to go from subtle to gross, right? Because in the yoga world, um, everybody thinks yoga is just doing like a bunch of like poses, but like yoga is a three-part practice. It's breath, meditation, and movement. So we're going to be experiencing the trifold, the trifecta of yoga, and really, if you guys don't know, yoga means union,
I love it. Yes.
right? So yoga means union. So we're going to be able to unite these three different aspects of the self, so that we are it just connected to a bigger energy, to our own power. And it's so funny, like I'm so connected into both, like, God, spirit, universe, like however you call it. And it's such a beautiful awareness that we're never alone. Like I know as entrepreneurs, we feel like we're alone a lot. Like I sit in my office alone all day long. And I'm like, I'm never alone. Like I have, I'm connected to source because I'm actively practicing that aspect of like being one with the universe, right?
Absolutely.
And being one with my community. And so this is going to help us unite with each other. This is going to help us unite with our bigger vision, with our bigger purpose, with our calling, with our mission. And yeah, so I can't tell you exactly what we're going to do because I'm very spur of the moment. But we're going to do some really powerful work.
Awesome. I love it. And I want to publicly say thank you. And also just let people know of a couple of things. So, first of all, today, by getting your all access ticket, we've added something new. As many of you know, my background is in marketing and more specifically on email marketing and growing a list. So, today, when you get your all access ticket, you'll get a bonus training on how to easily grow your email list. So you want to make sure you get your all access ticket today because number one, you're going to get that extra bonus. And number two, because the tickets are going up. So you want to make sure you get your tickets today before they go up because they're going to go up on Thursday. So today is Tuesday. So you have less than 48 hours to grab the all access ticket so that you can enjoy the entire experience, the bonus day on Thursday, where we'll be using AI to create our strategic plan for the rest of 2025 because the year's not over yet, and to have a strategic plan for 2026. You're also going to get the extra time on Thursday for networking as well as Friday morning at 9 o'clock. You're also going to have the opportunity to receive the replays 30 days after the event, along with the workbook that we have for the event, and so much more, like our virtual swag bag that you get. And you get all these things only as an all access pass holder. So make sure that you get your ticket today. Now, I am super excited because we added that bonus and the days are getting closer and we are doing everything we can to give you an experience that is memorable. And so, is there anything else you'd like to add before we say goodbye?
No, just please connect with me if you feel inclined. My Instagram, where I do most of my work, is ari.biz.coach. And I want to invite you guys, if you're local, um, in South Florida or Los Angeles, to check out the Yoga Expo in LA. And also, I have the Move Fest here in Miami Beach on 1/11/2026.
I am excited about what, wow, 111. That's my husband's 50th birthday,
Ah!
111. Yeah, so we'll be seeing, and I'm excited that you live nearby, that we'll be connected. And also because I've decided we haven't even finished this event, but in 2026, we're going to have more than one event. And the next one is going to be in March for International Women's Day. We always do a
Love it.
little something for International Women's Day, but this year we're going to do a full on event. And that's why I'm excited that I met you because I think it's just the beginning of many opportunities for us to work together. So I want
Absolutely.
to say thank you so much. I
Thank
am
you.
super excited about your energy and what you're going to be bringing to MoneyFest. I'm also excited about what we could do together locally, especially because next year I'm really looking forward to be able to do an in-person event. So, there's so much for us to do. So, I
Yes.
want to thank you for being here with me. I continue praying for you and your family, and I
Thank
thank you for
you.
continuing your business, having that great energy, even though life happens and it happens to all of us. So, I want to say thank you. And of course, I want to remind everyone, if you haven't already done so, to please go ahead and check out our website and get your tickets today because we want to make sure that you're there. This is the beginning. If you've never been to any of our events, for you to have an experience that we like to think, and from last year, I'm trying to get last year's videos so that I can start sharing them because I have forgotten. That is quite different than, definitely than summits, because there's not going to be a multi-pitching event, and different from a lot of events that you may have experienced. So once again, Arianna, thank you so much. Thank you to all of you that are watching live or the replay. Make sure that you email us with any questions. And most importantly, make sure you go to moneyfest2025.com right now to get your all access ticket, because you want to get that free bonus training to grow your email list. So thank you very much. And bye for now. Bye bye.
Bye.